Hey everyone, welcome back to Console Crapshoot, where we spin a wheel to play a random video game on original hardware. We've had a few pretty decent games recently, so I feel like we're due for a bad one, but fingers crossed. Okay, the Sega Dreamcast. I'll take it. That's a pretty good sign. Let's see, we have 252 games left on the Dreamcast wheel. Oh, nice, Hydro Thunder.
Hydro Thunder!
I absolutely love the unhinged announcer dude in Hydro Thunder. Me and my friend used to constantly imitate the Hydro Thunder guy.
You're crazy!
Okay, where to begin on Hydro Thunder? I loved this game. This was one of my first Dreamcast games. I had it early on. My save is still here in my memory card. I still got my high scores in there. And how do I describe it? Hydro Thunder is an arcadey style racing game. You know, we had a lot of, and I think we still do have, you know, when you go to an arcade or you see them in the movie theaters, there's these arcadey style racing games. The famous ones at the time were like San Francisco Rush and Cruisin' USA, games like that. Hydro Thunder pretty much followed that formula, except it was speedboat racing. There was actually 3 of these, I think. It was Hydro Thunder, there was Off-Road Thunder, and then there was, what was it? Arctic Thunder. I think it was like snowmobiles. But Hydro Thunder was my favorite one of these. Hydro Thunder really was like my favorite arcade racer. It was just really unique. It felt so fun and it felt so different than all the other ones because of the way the handling was. It really did a decent job with the physics. I mean, it was completely unrealistic. It was really arcadey, but when you hit the water, when you hit the gas, when you hit your turbo while in the water, when more of your boat was touching the water, you could feel a difference. There was a way to use your turbo boosts in turns. It felt pretty realistic in terms of bouncing on the water and going high speed. The graphics were also really, really awesome at the time, and the Dreamcast version here was pretty damn close to the arcade version. They were almost on par. If you are unfortunate enough to not have a Dreamcast and you had this game on the N64 or the PlayStation 1, you probably didn't like it that much. It wasn't as good, it didn't hold up the same way. But the gameplay is really straightforward. It's just speedboats. They're cool design speedboats. When you hit these boost icons here, if you pay attention to your boat, it like opens up. It goes and like a whole engine pops out that utilizes a turbo boost, and it looks different on every single boat, so it's pretty interesting to look at. Every track has some secrets, has some like secret ways to take shortcuts through the track, and a big part of the game is learning where those secrets are. If you figure that out, you have a huge advantage over all your friends. And this is just a really fun, stupid game. It's not deep, there's not much to it, but it is designed pretty flawlessly. It's a great arcade racer. Dare I say one of the best arcade racers, if not the best. There's just 13 tracks to choose from. There's 13 boats to choose from. After you unlock everything, it's simple, it's mindless, and I kind of love it. There was one big trick to this game that a lot of people didn't know, and that's if you hit the brake really quick and then jerked on the gas and hit turbo, you could jump. Your boat would just go flying up in the air, and you could get in secret, hard to reach places. You could get turbo boosts that are way out of the way. You figure they wouldn't have made it that hard to do those jumps because there's a ton of base buttons on this game that aren't being used. You really only use the trigger for gas and the A button for turbo, so using one of those buttons to jump would make more sense, but I guess they wanted to make it more of a difficult to learn kind of a skill. But I sat and played this for quite a while, and I was so hungry for Hydro Thunder. I loved this game, and I was so happy that it came up on the wheel that I actually didn't want to stop there, and I turned on my Xbox 360 because there was another game called Hydro Thunder Hurricane that came out years later on the Xbox 360 to download on Xbox Live. So then I actually sat and played that game for a couple hours, and that one puts jump on the X button instead of making you do that brake thing. So I guess they had the same thought I did. It would be cool if they came out with another one of these. I doubt they will, but I guess the Hydro Thunder name is owned by Microsoft now. I don't think the newer one sold like crazy or anything from what I understand, so they're probably never going to make another one, but the 360 one is great. Also, I think it's great that all my old scores are still here, but I'm concerned. I hope that my friend, whoever wrote JEW as their initials, was my Jewish friend and not someone else. I don't remember, and that's bothering me. But this is such a simple game. This is a quick one. There's not much to say. It's just simple and fun. So let's get to the rating on Hydro Thunder for the Sega Dreamcast. Yeah, it's great. The graphics for the time, it was one of those games that were like, wow, when you really wanted to show your friend what the Dreamcast could do, this was one of those fun games that you'd pull out. It's just a simple, good time, and you don't see a lot of these simple, silly, fun, arcadey kind of of game releases anymore. If you do, they're kind of indie releases. Like, that's what I really loved about the 360 era of Xbox Live, is it gave a lot of these experiences a new life, and it did that for Hydro Thunder. But that was kind of the end of that, at least for the most part. But if you have a Dreamcast and a friend, this is absolutely something you should pull out. It is split screen, and I know that's like kind of caveman shit, but it's still a good time. Think of it this way: your TV is probably 6 times bigger than it was when you were playing split screen back when this game came out. So it's all good. Aside from the little seat and the steering wheel, like sitting in an arcade, this is as near of an arcade experience as you can get at home. The Dreamcast, for me, I think represented that. It represented the first time that home consoles caught up, and sometimes surpassed. Like in an example is Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur looked like crap in the arcades. It looked a lot better on the Dreamcast. So this was a really fun time to be a gamer, and this game is about as fun as it gets. This is a solid 4 out of 5 for me. Like I said, it's simple, but it executes that simplicity perfectly. We're on a roll. The games we've been getting lately are so good, and that always means that we're headed for some kind of travesty sooner or later. We'll find out next week. Hope to see you guys then.
Castle Von Dandy.